I heard that you think you need to look a certain way, be feminine, or be confident to be hot and sexy. And that you felt like being hot and confident can be really draining, or that you're only hot and sexy in certain situations. Come here. I'm gonna tell you a secret, and this took me years to figure out, but I'm gonna show you how you can be sexy and hot exactly as you are. You can be the most seductive, attractive, alluring person exactly how you are, without your makeup done, in your pajamas, and even 10 pounds heavier than you want to be. If you are new here, my name is Mimi Midnight, and for the past 10 years, I have been coaching hundreds of people on how to reconnect with their sensuality so that they can move more sensually, confidently, and fluidly without overthinking every step. I want you to live your life knowing that you are a gift from God. I want you to know what it feels like to turn heads as you walk down the street. Most of all, I want you to know what it feels like to be comfortable in your own skin. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to be hot and sexy without even trying. Not the kind of hot where I'm gonna teach you how to put on your makeup or dress a certain way. The kind of hot where you are captivating, alluring, and mesmerizing, just as you are. Okay, so I have a story to tell you. I went to a pole dancing show a little bit while ago, and there was a super sexy act, super sexy. But at the end of the show, my friend actually said she wasn't that into it, which surprised me because in my eyes, that person could do no wrong. But that's the thing, is when you rely on visuals, it becomes very subjective. I'll get into that later. So now there was a second act that was from someone who would, let's just say she's not your usual lingerie model, but she was so comfortable in your skin, it could have fooled you that she didn't look like a lingerie model. Her act was like a page from her diary. It was so vulnerable, authentic, it was giving, it was so deeply rooted in her own pleasure and joy, and that made it so captivating. So now this was my first introduction to the different levels of sexy. There is a kind of sexy that is like a sexual arousal, an arousal of like your sexual energy, erotic energy. And then there's a kind of sexy that is like an arousal of the soul. Like you feel like your soul is expanding. This is what planted the seeds for what I now define as sexy and sensual. All right, let's talk about sexy. What is it? Sexy is a look and an image. It changes with time, culture, place, person. It is very much about the other. Sexy is something that is externally validated, and that because it is so visual, it is subjective. Because it is rooted in arousal, sexual arousal, it is also subjective. Sexy is about this outward projecting energy, and it's validated by external things. So whether it's the situation you're in or the person you're with, it comes from the outside, and it is about projecting to the outside. So let me give you an example, a dance example. When you're dancing with sexy energy, then you are projecting your energy outwards. And so if you come across an audience member that does not receive your sexy, immediately you'll get in your head and you'll stop feeling sexy because now it's no longer validated by the other. Now, sensual, on the other hand, or sensuality, is all about your internal experience. It does not change with time, culture, place, person. It is your unwavering truth. It is about your internal experience and your objective truth. It is about feeling all the sensations that your body can feel and experiencing all the things that your body can experience in the moment. And that is what makes it feel so alive. That is what energizes you. When you're able to be fully present with all that your body has to offer, that's when you feel alive, and that's when you feel energized. So it's different from sexy, where it can feel kind of draining, where it's like taking from you, or where you have to try hard, where it can be exhausting to put on. Sensual is all about creating energy. So let me give you an example. You're a big foodie, and you're in your favorite restaurant eating your favorite dish. The ambiance is right, the food is delicious, you can feel all the textures, you can taste all the things, all the flavor, you can taste all the flavors, you can hear the beautiful music, you can see all the beautiful interior decor, and your senses are on fire. Everything is now coming and feeding into your senses. And so you feel fully present, and you feel fully alive and energized from this experience that your body is having. It is about drawing energy inward and producing this energy for yourself. So let me give you that example of dancing. When we dance with sensuality, now we're so focused on our internal experience, our own pleasure and our own joy, that if an audience member can't receive it well, most times you won't even notice because you're so focused on your own internal experience. In this position, you're also experiencing such pleasure and joy that maybe if you do notice, you wouldn't even care because you are so immersed in this experience. So here's the secret. If you want to feel hot and sexy without even trying, seek sensuality. Don't seek sexy, seek sensual. Sensuality is intrinsic sexy, and let me tell you what I mean by that. Sensuality is when you feel comfortable in your own skin. It is when you feel great in your body. It's not when you put on a pair of killer heels. It's not when you have the cutest outfit and your hair and makeup perfect. It's not when you're in a situation where people are hyping you up. Yes, those things can make you feel good about yourself. They can make you feel good, but that is really different because it is coming from an outside, it's coming from the visual. It's coming from something else that is not from within. The feel good that I'm talking about is when you can give yourself that good feeling. Whether you have a cute outfit on or not, whether you look your best or not, it is about feeling your best despite how you look. And that comes from being able to fully experience the sensations in your body. Because when we can do that, we give ourselves pleasure. And when we can give ourselves pleasure, that's when we can feel really great in our skin. That's when we can feel our sensuality and have sexy just be a byproduct of that. What's so captivating about someone who is fully present in their body and who feels great in their body, that is something irresistible that we all want. And so when we see someone experiencing that, we are captivated by it. We are drawn to it. And so that's when sexy becomes a byproduct. Because when you can feel all the sensations that your body is giving you, there is nothing sexier than that. There's nothing sexier than someone who is able to give themselves pleasure just through experiencing their body, just through being fully present in all their sensations. So if you want to learn more on how you can tap into your sensuality, I've linked a free lesson in the description below, which will walk you through how you can use touch and stretching to increase the senses that you feel and have that bring pleasure to you. Have it make your body feel alive. So sensuality is something that is sustaining and fueling. Sexy is something that can feel a little bit draining. It feels exhausting because you have to try. Sensuality is not something you have to try. It is something where you can just focus on your sensations, focus on the full experience that your body is having in the moment, and let that be an energy that fuels you. When you can feel alive in your body, that's when you're gonna feel energized. So an example I love to give is an extrovert that goes to a party is going to feel energized by being at that party. Whereas an introvert that goes to a party is going to be drained from that party. And the reason is because the extrovert goes to the party and feels at home. They feel fully energized and present. Whereas an introvert going to a party is trying. They are trying to socialize. They are trying to be there even though they don't want to be there. And so it's exhausting. When we're sexy and we're trying, that can be exhausting. When we're simply in our sensuality and being there because we want to be there, that's when it's energizing. So let's talk about this in an intimate setting, which is something I love talking about. When you are in an intimate setting with somebody and you try to be sexy, you are putting on a performance. Any kind of performance is going to create a wall between you and the audience because now you're in a character, you're not your authentic self. Yes, there are nuances to this. You could be your authentic self in a character, but all in all, you are putting on a performance. When we want to connect deeply with someone, we use our sensuality because sensuality can get us fully into the present moment and in tune with everything that's happening. So now we are in tune with connecting with the person that we're with, rather performing for them, rather than putting on an image to be perceived a certain way by that person. Sexy is going to be about that image and presenting that image to the person, whereas sensuality will be about you and your senses and your pleasure, you in the present moment, and receiving that with somebody else, sharing that experience with somebody else. Sexy in these intimate moments is great for creating lust, desire, sexual arousal. But when you want to connect deeply and have that intimacy with somebody that is beyond just lust and sexual arousal, that's when sensuality can come into play. Sensuality allows you to be in tune with yourself. It allows you to be fully present, to be in tune with the other person, and it allows you to create a shared experience rather than an egotistical experience where now the attention is on you and about you. Intimacy is about having a connection. And without having that presence to be where you are with somebody else, you can't create that connection. Sensuality allows you to be in tune with each other's pleasure. It allows you to be curious, to explore, and to really build that safety and trust that is needed for intimacy. The best part about all of this is that sensuality is available to everyone. Sexy is something that is conditional and needs to be validated by the external, whereas sensuality is something that we all already have. It's just about being able to reconnect with it deeper and deeper and deeper. If you want to learn more about how you can connect with your sensuality, make sure you check out this video next. And remember to grab that free lesson down in the description. I would love to hear what you thought about this video in the comments. Make sure you are subscribed and you have notifications turned on, and I'll see you next week.